Recognizes the gentleman from the great state of Kansas, Mr. Mann, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to discuss the challenges that America is facing and identify ways we can restore order in this country. Tonight, President Biden will join us in this very chamber to address the nation. I'm hopeful that he will speak to the real issues before us and detail how he plans to work with House Republicans to get America back on track. The southern border, inflation, international debt, and the weaponization of the federal government need his immediate attention. Since last year, House Republicans have passed legislation after legislation to secure our southern border, reduce and reprioritize federal spending, and end the weaponization of the federal government. We passed H.R. 2 to finish the border wall, increase the number of Border Patrol agents, protect unaccompanied children from human trafficking, and terminate catch and release. Since President Biden took office, there have been more than 8.5 million illegal crossings. That's almost 3 times the population of Kansas, including known criminals and terrorists are on that list. Just last month, the nation was horrified by the brutal murder of Laken Riley by an illegal immigrant. Despite the illegal immigrant's criminal history in the United States, failed liberal policies allowed him to stay here, and an innocent young woman from Georgia paid the price. Now that President Biden has visited the real southern border and witnessed the crisis he created, he should work with House Republicans to secure our southern border. We passed legislation to limit future government spending, reclaim $200 billion of unaccounted for COVID dollars, and promote pro-growth energy and economic policy. While the White House says inflation is cooling, those of us in middle America still feel the weight of Washington's spending problem. Our national debt has surpassed $34 trillion. Diesel is well over $3.60 a gallon in Kansas. Americans' paychecks are grossly overtaxed, and Washington Democrats pretend that the president has a no-limit credit card. This is no way to govern. It's irresponsible, it's fiscal insanity, and President Biden should work with House Republicans to rein in inflation and our national debt. We passed legislation that ends the weaponization of the federal government. We're working to hold the U.S. Department of Justice accountable to applying justice equally, and we're pushing the U.S. EPA to fully implement U.S. Supreme Court's ruling that EPA's Waters of the U.S. rule is unconstitutional. We are working to reduce the number of executive orders that the Biden administration uses to the force of law. We're standing for the unborn and fighting the radical agenda that promotes federal funding for abortions. In the big first, we know that the right to life is a right from God, not from the government. That right deserves to be protected. President Biden should work with House Republicans to end the weaponization of the federal government once and for all. I hope that President Biden will also discuss how we will work with us to enact a strong farm bill that will protect and strengthen crop insurance, incentivize agriculture trade opportunities, promotes global food security, supports agriculture research, and reflects the needs of the American farmer, ranchers, and agriculture producers who work to feed, fuel, and clothe the world. I hope that he will address the importance of our country's energy independence, our fight against China, and a strong Second Amendment. The list goes on and on. When the President joins us here tonight, he has the opportunity to share with Kansans and Americans his plan to tackle these challenges head on. Mr. Speaker, I'm optimistic that our greatest days are yet to come. Those days require us to get America back on track. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and with that, I yield back.
The chair recognizes